Hi everyone, today we have a new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM, and it's a 135 scale kit. So what we have here is the Humvee M1097A2, and as you can see, it's the cargo carrier. In 135 scale, it might be an interesting thing to assemble for some kind of diorama and even the solo project. And what I have here on the table is the final shape of this release, so you will get exactly the same set of parts as what you will see in this video review. And I should remind first that this is a new tooled release from ICM, and I reviewed the first version quite recently, I would say. So if you're interested, definitely check it out, because it was really nicely modeled kit. But now we get the next version, and I guess there will be more to follow. And as you can see, the kit number is 35436. We have quite nice box art here, and as for the box size, it's quite typical for such release from this brand. So here is comparison with my hand. Also here on the side you will find some information about the kit. So I'm not seeing it from the side, but it's well, if I tilt it like this, there are 171 parts, and assembled model will be 138 millimeters long, so not such a huge thing, even though it's a 135 scale kit. And here on the opposite side you can see also two marking options for this vehicle. And as I am always saying, you are not limited by this only, because there are also some references available in certain sources, let's say, so you will definitely find something different if you would like to. And I think this vehicle can be also useful for some Ukrainian markings as well. So if you have some photos which you can use as the base for your marking ideas, then definitely go for it, because you will get something different from what is supplied here in the package. So you can notice that I cut through the plastic seals, and we have this top cover which is quite flexible and thin. It does not provide any protection, it's just used for the nice print. But we have this white color cardboard, and here, as you can see, we have various parts. I can see even the new panels for the front cap, because on the box art we could see that it will be closed version. So I'm going to open it right now. Just give me a moment. And we will check closer the gray plastic frames. We are going to start with the sprue B, and here, as you can see, we have, if I zoom in a bit, so now you can see that here we have the floor panel, and also we have this bonnet panel. We have the side panels here. Doors are separate as far as you can see, so this might be handy for some diorama ideas. And also we have the engine parts. I do not remember, to be honest, if it was included in the previous release, but here we have it out of the box, and it might be handy for some modelers in case they would like to use it for some diorama ideas. Then you get it without any additional investment. And just to give you a better idea on how these parts look like, so here you can take a closer look. Maybe I'll just swipe out the dust. So here you can see the bonnet, and here you can see also some of the other parts for this vehicle. Okay, and if we zoom out and flip over the sprue here, you can check that we have also really nice surface details which are pre-molded. We also have the guiding elements, obviously, so it will be easy to align all of this stuff together. And usually ICM sets are really nice in this I would say aspect of the assembly, so you just need to not to hurry, maybe plan in advance how to paint the parts, and you'll be good to go. So you might have heard that I opened another plastic bag. I think it's worth zooming in and showing this vinyl tire. So there are 4 of those, and if camera will focus, you should be able to see what I'm talking about. So yes, now it's focused. So here we have the typical vinyl part, and I would say that it looks okay, but well, even if you have the possibility to get the resin or 3D printed parts, then definitely go for it, because as you can see, this is just a typical vinyl tire without even the weight effect. Obviously, it's not that easy to imitate it in the vinyl, so that's why I'm saying always that the 3D printed parts is way better choice in a 135 scale. And this kit is not an exclusion from this rule, so definitely worth additional investment. And next, I just need to open another plastic bag, because here we have the clear parts, and it's nice that they're packed into the separate plastic bag. So here, as you can see, we have the glasses for the front cap. We also have the lenses for the headlamps. The molding quality is really good. I'm not sure if we will have the masks included, so I will have to check the assembly manual, because that's where they usually print the masking templates. But next we see the sprue A. So here we have the parts for the main chassis, and what is cool is that those parts are actually molded as a single piece part, so it's not the parts, it's one single element, and it will make the assembly easier and also give you the better precision, because you won't have the wrong alignment. The same can be said about this frontal section. As you can see, we have these supports for the rear view window already pre-molded, but you have to be careful with them. And also here you can see the doors. I think it's worth zooming in again so that you can see this, for example, chassis here. And attachment points are quite thin. They're placed in a quite smart slots, I would say, so it's not a problem here. And also here you can take a look at the side panels of the bonnet, and also that's the windshield or windscreen frame, which I was talking about before. And if I zoom out and flip over the sprue, so here we have the guiding elements, and all of this stuff should be easy to combine together. I don't think it's a huge issue that we have these panels molded as a separate parts. Next is the sprue C. Here I would say the most notable part, at least for me, is this front mask, which makes the Hummer distinguishable from any other military vehicle. And also we have this frames for the roof. We have the subframes for the suspension, and I can see some parts for the overall drivetrain. So if I zoom in, you can notice that they are very thin, so be careful with them, and it might be also a good idea to separate them with the plastic saw, not with the plastic cutters, because this way you will get a really nice clean finish, and the result will only benefit from such, let's say, procedure. And of course it will only speed up the process, because you won't have to clean up anything, because usually the plastic saw gives a better looking final cut. So here we continue with two identical plastic sprues. So I will show you only one, because they carry the same set of parts and there is no need to show them one by one. And here, as you can see, we have the front seats. We also have this again subframe for the suspension. We have the wheel rims, and we have some suspension parts in form of these large shocks. So overall, all of this stuff looks good. Maybe the shocks can be upgraded with the metal parts. It's easy to just wrap the metal wire and copy this element, but this is again your decision whether you would like to go this way. And here you can take the look from the opposite side. So everything looks fine. And for the wheel rims, I think such design will also help you avoid unnecessary masking. So for the new parts, this sprue was not included in the initial release of the Humvee. So here, as you can see, we have the new doors and also some canvas panels for the front cap. All of this stuff looks good, but the only thing required from you is to get also the smooth connection between, for example, this roof panel and side panels and the rear one, because that was the single canvas as far as I remember. So you should copy it on your vehicle as well. And here we have another clear frame, so all of those clear parts will be actually inserted into the doors and into the rear wall. And as you can see, they're also as good as the previous ones which we saw, but again, the big question is if we get the masking templates, because without the masking templates it might be a bit tricky, or you can just use the mask hole and apply some dust, because it's a military vehicle after all. Here we continue with the masks, actually decal sheet. So as you can see, we have a lot of symbols here, a lot of stencils and various decals for the interior, which is really cool. I think in 1/35 scale it's very useful bonus, and do not be lazy to apply all of them, because your vehicle will only benefit from getting all of those decals. And now I think it's time to close the lenses a bit, because we will be talking about the assembly manual, which is a large color printed brochure. We have short history note here and technical specifications, and also the paint set, which might be useful for this build. So next page shows us the parts map, and note that only one part will be untouched, which is quite interesting. And the same can be said here. As you can see, all parts are used, so try not to lose or break anything. Assembly process starts with the main chassis, which, as you remember, is just a single piece, so it's a quite quick, I would say, thing to assemble, and you will have to work around this part, so basically installing more parts onto this. And as you can see, on the next step we are working on the engine, which is rather detailed from the bottom, but it's not detailed from the top side, and it's quite understandable, I would say, because we have the bonnet molded shut, so it's not visible what is on the top part. You cannot show it, and therefore there is no need just to waste your time on trying to detail it even more. But of course, I might see some aftermarket, which I will be trying to show you if it will be available to me. Next, we continue with the suspension here. As you can see, the shocks being installed here and there, the subframes, and then we have the also radiator grille and the wheels. I can see that a lot of parts are going into suspension, which is quite good, but remember that this is the fixed suspension, it's not movable, because some of you were asking about it. Here we continue with the instrument panel, a lot of decals, as you can see, applied there, which is rather good. Next we continue with the seats and various storage boxes. Again, a lot of decals going there. And we start working on the rear cargo compartment. So as far as you can see, there are separate walls. We also have here the separate bonnet assembly, and it should be assembled out of several panels, which is also quite interesting. And note that even the front grille is assembled out of several parts. Then it just installed onto the what we were assembling before. And here we continue with the side panels for the rear section, and also the canvas roof for the front area of this Humvee. So doors are rather simple, just like on the real vehicle. But on the last page we have quite an interesting thing. No, we do not get the masking templates, which is quite sad, to be honest, because for all of these clear parts it would be handy. And now what I'm trying to understand, what is the difference between these two vehicles. As you can see, we have the question mark, but I do not see any differences between them. Maybe only this rear section details and how the raised walls are copied, but this is the only thing which will be different on these two tracks versions. So here you can see the first marking option from 2000s, and another one also from the same time scale, and as you can see, it's the sand colored camouflage, so it might be also interesting to copy. As for the whole kit, I think it's as good as the initial release, so in case you missed the first version, definitely try to pick this one, because as you can see, you get a lot of stuff for quite a reasonable price. And I will be happy to hear your opinion, so if you have something to say about this kit, or you have tried the first versions, write it here in the comment section below. And of course I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.